What up guys, how you guys doing? I'm Thales and we're back with another how to slice. In today's how to slice video, we're going to be checking out a awesome mask. So let's go to the video. So this is a really cool helmet. As you can see, this is a really nice model, and in this video we're going to be checking out the best print settings to print it. As you can see right here, we got multiple models. If you take a look, this is a multi-part model, so you can print all of the parts, then afterwards assemble. As you can see, we got lots of parts and they all can be printed with the same print settings as I'm going to be showing you right now. The only thing that's going to be different from one model to another is the brim and support material. So we're going to be analyzing. As you can see, first off, there's a lot of parts, and I'm gonna start off by saying that you need to consider and be really careful with bed adhesion on this model. As you can see, all of the models got a not so good surface of contact to the build plate right here. It is really thin, the support, the contact of support right here, as you can see in all of these parts. So you need to be really critical with this model, especially so it doesn't unstick from the build plate. So bed adhesion is key. And to guarantee a good bed adhesion, I follow these 3 tips. We're going to be adding brim. Aside from brim, something you can do without changing anything on your printer is, first off, cleaning your build plates really well. So this is going to help a lot by having a really clean surface to print on without any dust and oils from your finger. Will impact a lot and will help a lot your print. It's gonna increase the bed adhesion. Second off, make sure that your printer is really well leveled. By having a really well leveled printer, you're going to have a good first layer. And the first layer is the one that's gonna make contact from your model to the build plate. So it's the one that's gonna stick and hold your model down to the build plate. So it's really critical, and make sure you give a lot of attention to it. So always clean your build plate, make sure that your printer is really well leveled, and third, feel free to use external adhesion such as glue stick, which is gonna help a lot with some smaller parts and the parts that have low contact to the build plate. And we're going to be adding some brim, but always remember to follow the 3 steps I have told you right now. The glue stick and external adhesion is optional, but do never forget to clean your build plate. So let's start. Let's go to the print settings. So right here in the print settings, in layer height, we're going to be printing this model at 0.2 millimeters. We're going to be printing with the standard print layer height. This way, we're going to get a good combination of good quality print and fast print. So a good balance between time of print and quality. At 0.2 millimeters, it's going to be quite hard to see those fine layers of print. So that is fantastic. We're not going to be changing any of these values right here. As for vertical shelves, we're going to be leaving at 3. This way, we're going to get a really rigid model so it does not break. As for infill, we're going to be increasing to 10% infill with a gyroid infill pattern. Gyroid's a really nice infill pattern because it prints in waves, so your printer never goes on a straight line while printing the infill. This reduces the chance of your print failing. That is fantastic. Going over to skirt and brim, we're going to be adding brim. It's critical. We can be adding a 8 millimeter brim to all of the models. I do recommend for all of them. As you can see, all of the models got not a good surface of contact to the build plate. The only ones that have a good contact is this 2 that do not need any brim. The rest, it needs brim. So feel free to change right here on the whole project to 8 millimeter brim. So you're going to be printing in actually in various build plate. This way you can just use the same project right here. As you can see, these 2 models, they Feel free to add some brim. It's quite easy to remove the brim afterwards. Better to make sure. Feel free to add some brim to all of the models. As for support material, we're going to be checking out in a second. As for speed, feel free to print with your standard print speed. But if you're going to change any of these values, always to lower values. So you can be using a profile that you may like. But if you're going to change any of these values, always to lower values. It's better to print slow one time than trying to print really fast and then failing multiple times. Because the printer is going to vary, so the speed is going to vary. There's no standardized speed for your printer. It's going to vary between printers. This is the Ender 3v3 SE. It's going to be different than printing with a Bambu Lab printer, let's say a P1S. So be really critical with the speed you're going to choose. Right here on the first layer, I have reduced from 30 millimeters to 20 millimeters a second. This way, we're going to get a really slow first layer, and the first layer is the most important layer. All of the other layers are going to go on top of this one. So if you do not have a good first layer, the model isn't going to look nice. So as you can see, all of the parts can be printed with these exact print settings as I've shown you right now. The only thing that we're going to be taking a look right now, it is the support material, which we're going to be using a paint-on support. So as you can see, this model right here on the side doesn't need support. This doesn't need support either. Right here, this model doesn't need any support. Right here, as you can see, this connection, it's got an overhang so your printer can print. It needs brim, so all of these parts needs brim. This doesn't need any support. This is a overhang that your printer can print and doesn't have a good surface of contact to the build plate, but we have added brim. All of these parts right here do not need any support material. As you can see right here, your printer can print all of these overhangs. We're going, just to make sure, we're going to slice. It's always good to slice. This is a really nice way to find out if our models really need support. So let's just slice and take a look if there's any warnings of overhang. As you can see, this is a really nice way to know if we need support. So as you can see, there's no warnings and no blue colored paints right here that shows that it needs support. It can print quite fine with the overhang. This is really nice to know. As you can see, all of this overhang, our printer can print. So this is a really nice way to know. You can just straight up print this. So let's check out, this model doesn't need any support either. This is a really nice tip to know on how to see if our models need support without having to use the highlight by overhang. This models right here doesn't need any support either because they are optimized for printing right here. This model doesn't need to, but it is critical with our bed adhesion, surface of contact to the bed adhesion, so brim is really recommended. All of these parts right here can be printed without any support. They're really critical, which need brim. This model right here, we're going to be adding some support, some paint-on support. So this is the only one that needs support right here. As you can see, it's a little bit big right here for my for the 220 by 220 millimeter build plate. Let's see if we can organize it better right here. So it's gonna vary between helmet sizes, but this size, it's not fitting my build plate. So I'm just going to be changing right here the print settings and making it bigger just so we can slice this model. So you can see it's gonna vary between sizes of helmets and the size of your printer's build plate. So make sure it will fit. A 235 millimeters by 235 millimeters will fit this model. So now we are ready to paint our support. If you take a look right here, we're just going to be selecting our paint on support. And if we increase right here to 30 degrees, you will see that it recommended a little bit of support right here and on this little part, which can guarantee, as you can see, this is an arc, but it's better to guarantee some support right here. That is fantastic. And we can be adding a little bit of support in this interior part so it doesn't leave too many inconsistencies in our print. So what we can do is just make a rough circle right here just to add a little bit of a tree support. This way it's just going to support really nicely and it's not going to leave too much inconsistencies and scars. Let's take a look. We're going to be slicing and taking a look if we need. I think we will need a little bit of support just to guarantee on this in the eye region. If you mess something up, you can just select Alt and afterwards add some support. As you can see, it's really thin where we need support. We could print without, but it's better to be safe than sorry always. So as you can see, this way we're going to guarantee a good quality print on our mask, which we need a good quality, right? We're going to print a ginormous mask like this one. We need a good quality print. This interior part, as you can see, it's oval. It could print without any support, but we're going to be adding some support. I do recommend a lot. So now we are ready to slice. All of the other parts can be printed with the same exact print settings. Just what we're going to be doing is changing our support material right here, settings. So we're going to be generating support material, not in the style, it's going to be organic, not auto-generated because we have painted. And right here on top interference layers, we can reduce to 1, so it's easier to remove. 1 set to light, so this our support, it's going to be easier to snap off. So this is quite nice. We can be slicing this model. All of the other models can be printed with the exact print settings without any support. So let's just slice. So as you can see, we have sliced and it looks fantastic with our support right here and the brim. It looks really nice with all of the layers right here being printed out perfectly. This is a quite an overhang right here. We added some support that will remove quite easily and won't leave too many scars inside our helmet. So that is fantastic. And now we are ready to print. So grab a really nice film that you have laying around and print these models right now. Print it in different colors to get a really nice end result and enjoy a lot. So the model is ready to print. Make sure to check out stlflix.com for more models like this one, and I'll see you in another one.
I hope you guys enjoy it. Those slicing videos are an initiative from STL Academy, which is the educational project from STLflix. So if you guys want to learn more about 3D printing, you could check our description and look at STL Academy courses. And don't forget, see you guys at the next slicing.